I can hear me.
On my staff.
All right now. Cool. Thank you all for showing up.
Did you bring your mask? Which mask? Just in case.
Welcome! Proud to be a UC Davis student. Welcome to Solidarity.
Hello, my name is Ian Lee. I'm a freshman here at UC Davis, and 3 days ago, I was one of the many students pepper sprayed for a non-violent, peaceful sit-down on this very quad. I've never been one to make a speech or draw attention to myself, but last night I watched an Aggie TV interview with Chancellor Katehi that was so filled with lies that I knew I had to raise my voice. This will be a very short speech. I title it Responses to 3 Lies Perpetuated by Chancellor Katehi. Lie number 1, that Chancellor Katehi ordered in riot police because the camp was, quote, unsafe. Well, I have a question for you, Chancellor.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Speak louder, please. Thanks.
Before touching anything in the sound system, please come up and talk to us. Thank you.
Hello? Okay. Can everyone hear me? Yeah! I'm gonna start over. Hello, my name is Ian Lee. I'm a freshman here at UC Davis, and 3 days ago, I was one of the many students pepper sprayed for a non-violent, peaceful sit-down on this very quad. I've never been one to make a speech or draw attention to myself, but last night I watched an Aggie TV interview with Chancellor Katehi that was so filled with lies that I knew I had to raise my voice. This will be a very short speech. I title it Responses to 3 Lies Perpetuated by Chancellor Katehi. Lie number 1, that Chancellor Katehi ordered in riot police because the camp was, quote, unsafe. Well, I have a question for you, Chancellor Katehi. Questions inspired by Professor Ostertag. Have you ever been to a frat party on this campus? Or what about a sports game? You know that camping on the quad is perfectly safe. You know you are not concerned with the safety of our students. Or hey, here's another hypothetical. What if our UCD camping group, Outdoor Adventures, wanted to camp on the quad? Would you have sent fully armed riot police on them? No, of course not. So you've got to admit that the only reason you sent in riot police was because of the political intentions of our movement. You've got to admit you set in riot police because you were scared of our right to think and assemble. You've got to admit you set in riot police because your position fundamentally stands opposed to our right to freedom of speech. Lie number 2. Lie number 2, that police were following normal protocol in pepper spraying us. This is patently untrue. As I'm sure everyone here knows already, on the 18th of November, Lieutenant John Pike used military-grade pepper spray on our students. This military-grade pepper spray is lethal to 1 out of every 600 people it is used on, and its medical effects are still unknown. This is why it is supposed to be used at a distance of at least 15 feet, not at point-blank range, and most certainly not repeatedly back and forth to add several layers. How do students sitting down, linking arms in any way, shape, or form suggest violence? Do students simply talking with one another, exchanging ideas, make you violently scared? Do students exercising the First Amendment right to speech and assembly make you viciously tremble? Cry out loud, this is a university! And let me respond to this one with a personal take. I have a friend. Her name is Losa, and she's a high school senior back in my hometown considering attending our university. I was talking with her over the phone, and she told me that as long as Chancellor Katehi holds her position as Chancellor of our university, she's afraid. Frightened, terrified to come to our university. She's afraid because she fears not being able to express her First Amendment rights. She fears not even being able to sit on the quad and exchange ideas. She fears living under a militarized university under a belligerent, violent, and cruel chancellor. I ask you one more question, Chancellor Katehi, and I ask this with the utmost sincerity. Do you honestly think your presence at the university is good? Thank you.
Make some noise for the next speaker!
Hello. 3 days ago, I was pepper sprayed. It hurt. It hurt a lot, but you all know that already. Nobody thinks that pepper spray is fun or that pepper spray is acceptable. I don't have much time and I talked too much already, so I will just say two things. First, what happened on Friday is not exceptional. Police brutality may not be the most common occurrence at UC Davis, but it happens every day. News media all over the world has shown that footage. Russian television, Al Jazeera, video of us being pepper sprayed has circulated worldwide, but only because people don't expect nice, non-violent students at a major university at Davis to be victims of police violence. But I want to emphasize this. Poor people, women, people of color experience this violence daily. We can never forget Oscar Grant. Second, I want to talk about solutions. Many of you who were here last Tuesday when I asserted that we are winning. What are we winning? We are winning the power to make demands and have them heard. But we cannot demand from the police, we cannot make demands of the administration, we cannot make demands of those people who have created the system against which we're rebelling. We can make demands. We can make demands of ourselves, because when we come together as a community, we have the power to make our demands real. Millions of people all over the world are participating in the occupation movement. We are everywhere. This movement has energized people in a way unseen for decades, because we do not ask for the authorities to make small adjustments to a cruel system. We do not demand that they change the system that they created. We change the system. We are all over the world, and we are creating new types of social relations, new types of friendship, even new types of love. We all have demands that we want to see enacted. We must make those demands of ourselves. We have the power, and I want to emphasize this last point, we have the power to change human nature itself, and we have no choice but to do so. Reading the newspaper every morning, and I'm sort of a weird guy because I still read the newspaper every morning. But reading the newspaper every morning, I see a new world being born. Let us come together, let us go together, and let us make this world real.
I was one of the people pepper sprayed, of course, and I don't really have a major speech prepared for this, and when I was told that I was going to speak today, I didn't really know what I would talk about. Should I talk about the fear that I felt when I saw my friends thrown to the ground by brutal police officers for standing, linking arms peacefully? Should I talk about the fear that I felt when I heard the crowd scream before the pepper spray hit my face? But what I decided to speak about today is not the horrible violence that I experienced, but the community that I felt when I stood in solidarity with my fellow students supporting our university. As we linked arms, sitting with our backs to the police officers, again, non-violently, I thought to myself, I love everyone here so much. And the thing that really stuck out to me when I read Katehi's letter later that day talking about the events was that she called upon the safety of the community. And I ask you, what community does Katehi provide? What support does she give us that we can't give each other and give ourselves?
Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check.
Yeah, that's right.